Yes, hello and welcome to another vlog from Ben R Rider. Today we're testing out the Ovaobike MCR-M. It is a 10.5 kilowatt motorcycle, electric motorcycle, and it is a lot of fun. It is very expensive for my taste. We cannot take the batteries out, they are internal. We can only charge it on a wall plug, and we cannot charge it on a Tesla charger because it only has the regular Shuko plug where you have to put it to the wall, and it takes about 5.5 hours to charge. That's very unfortunate. It should have a quick charger inside where you can charge it in a few minutes, 30 minutes or something, almost to full. This is very unfortunate, especially for this price. So on the left hand side, on the left handlebar, we have a multifunction switch here. When you shift it down, you go into the different riding modes. We have Eco, Sport and Comfort. When you just press it like this, or you just pull it to you, then you can change the data in the display. The other switches is the high beam, low beam switch here. We have a passing light switch here. We have the left and right turn signal switch. In the middle to reset. When you press it longer to the left, we have the hazard light switch, or hazard lights. Down below we have the horn, and down below, or to the right of the horn, we have the opening for the seat, or for the tank here, where you can put some stuff in it. On the right hand side we have the gas throttle, or the electric throttle. We have the brake lever for the front disc brakes. We have the cutoff switch, turn on the on-off switch, starter switch, and when you press the start switch or start button for a longer period of time, you get into the turbo mode. The regular maximum speed is 120, and with the turbo you can go for a few seconds, maybe to pass someone, to up to 130 kilometers an hour. So let's get to the display here. It is a color, I would say it's an LC display. Is that possible? It's a color LC display, but I don't think it's an TFT display. But anyways, on the left hand side you see the battery percentage. We see the battery temperature to see if the battery is feeling well or not. Then we have a park, drive and reverse indication. Here in the middle we have the speedometer. To the right we have a clock. Underneath we have the multifunction data field, which we can switch around with a lever I just explained to you. We can switch it to odometer, range, trip, and the regenerative braking. Oh, I cannot pronounce this word. Which you can switch in 3 positions with the foot pedal to the left. 1, 2, and 3 maximum regenerative braking. It works quite nice here in the twisty. It is a lot of fun. And we can switch the riding mode, shifting this little lever down. Eco, comfort, and sport. And that's all there is to the display. So this is the Ovaobike MCR-M Mini City Racer M for midship rear or midship motor, I suppose. We go to the rear tire with a belt, and it has 10.5 kilowatts of power. We can ride it with an A1 version or B196 in Germany. And so it is basically, it has the same status as a 125 scooter or motorcycle. And here in Spain, I suppose you can also ride it with your regular car license then. So let's go and take it out for a little spin. Let's go. So in order to get the little electric beast started, we have to put the emergency cutoff switch here and push the starter button within the countdown, which will count down in the display now. If you don't press it, it will turn off by then. So now it is in drive mode. As you can see, we have 80% battery, 30 degrees is the temperature of the battery. We have the odometer here. We have eco mode. Let's switch it to sport mode. We have a range. Whoa, that went down quite fast. We have a range which is still calculated, and we'll put it probably to the second gear of the regenerative braking with a foot pedal, because in these corners it is just fantastic to do so. So let's get going here. So as you can see, TN or whatever that means, 111 is the first regenerative braking gear. This is the second one, and it kicks in a little bit later, maybe 1 second, half a second when you let go of the throttle, and that's what I like. So maybe for going downhill we need number 3. Yeah, put it in number 3 now. Okay, let's get to the basics here. The seat height is not so high. I think it's 805. I will put it on the screen. The seat is very hard, sporty and hard. So, I mean, you cannot go any longer distances with this anyways. So I don't think that's a very big problem, but I noticed that already when coming here, after 20 kilometers, you notice the seat, or yeah, your butt hurts a little bit. Okay, now I can see actually also the display a little bit better while going down here. When you have the regenerative braking, the battery indicator kind of flashes like charging. Okay, we put it to the range now because we're going down the hill. I guess we get pretty good range at the moment. We have a sport mode. We have very nice acceleration actually. At the higher speeds, not so much anymore, but down below, not too bad for this 10.5 kilowatt, or I think it was, what was it, 17 maximum peak power. So everything works as expected. With the mirrors, look very sporty and nice here. I like them, and you can see basically everything in the mirrors. They're not that big, but still I think sufficient. We have a big problem with this bike, at least I have a big problem with this bike. First of all, it costs 15,000 euro on the road. The second problem is also a big problem for me. We only have CBS braking system. We do not have ABS in a bike which goes that fast, which is that sporty. It is really a shame. We also do not have traction control. That's another big shame for a bike which accelerates quite nicely as this one here. So I would expect these two, at least these two little helpers in the in this bike. Oh, this is this is my friend from Alaouin with the Indians, I think, for riding sporty corners and stuff like that. Although I'm not an expert, but it seems to be very, very nice. Handles very, very nice in the corners. We have the front disc brake. We have also the foot brake, as with any other motorcycle. Here on the right hand side we can brake, and also the rear brake is quite strong actually. Sometimes with some motorcycles it is not so strong. If you have too much money lying around, why not have a look at this bike? Electric. Well, actually I have to mention that the other problem I have with this bike is the charging. It charges on a regular 240 volt wall socket in about 5.5 hours. The two batteries which are included here, but unfortunately I think this is too long. We need a quick charger with a type 2 or whatever. Yeah, the suspension is very strong and sporty. We also have Brembo brakes, but it's nice to have Brembo brakes if they had combined them with an ABS system. Yeah, the only thing I can say, it is a lot of fun here in the twisties. You hear this whining sound from the engine. And it seems to be nicely balanced. It's not that flickable, not that easily flickable, but very, very nice for these kind of tight corners here already. Combined with the strong braking power of the regeneration, it is definitely loads of fun. So it is a 125 scooter. No, sorry, it's not a scooter. Motorbike. No, well, yeah, it has a motor. Electric motor. A very, very, very sporty 125, I would say. And go! Stop! So we have maximum power here now. We go up a hill now. I will not be able to use the turbo mode, I guess. So what does the range say? Oh, not too bad actually at the moment. 187 for the range. Going down quite drastically, I suppose, when we go up this hill here now. But yeah, it's definitely a nice little sporty 125cc. Okay, it does not have cc bike. Pretty nice. Definitely nice, and a very, very nice looking bike. It is, yeah, it is very stable at higher speeds here. You have the full force of the wind as usual. Since it's a naked bike style bike. Now going at our speed here at the moment. We get a remaining range of about 80 kilometers, but this will change again, of course, when we go slower. And with our streets here, with our roads, it is very difficult to test anything higher than 120. This can actually go up to 130 with a turbo boost mode. I don't think I can try it out. Yeah, I do like it, except for the points that I mentioned, and I will put in my verdict at the end of this video. We will go through the city now. If I catch anything interesting, I will let you know. Other than that, I can already say that was a nice and sporty test ride with this electric bike. You don't have that very often, of course, when you test electric bikes. But this is definitely a sporty version, and of course it has also a sporty price. Sporty price tag. Yep, anyways, I forgot to say goodbye. Thanks very much for watching. This has been a ride out. Take care. Bye-bye.